4 years ago, Mitt Romney got 93% of the Republican vote, but the Republican Party has been deeply divided over Donald Trump, and his support within the party has been lagging. But that's been changing. As of last week, Mr. Trump stood at 87% support among Republicans. Our nightly political panel is here from the Washington Examiner, Byron York, and from the Federalist, Mollie Hemingway. Welcome to both of you. So what's going on? What chance does Trump have of reaching what we call the Romney standard of 93%, Mollie?
It is. I'm glad you pointed out that he is behind where Mitt Romney is. It's not just in this poll, but in all polls, he's lagging behind where Romney was.
Well, he's lagging behind where Romney ended up.
Sure.
In some polls, it looks like he's about where Romney was. The question is, can he get the rest of the way?
And what I think is interesting about this is that you have in the past seen a lot of Republican votes come back to the presidential candidate because the Republican Party picks a good vice presidential candidate that energizes the base. That's not really the case here. I don't think people are that excited about either of the vice presidential candidates. And what you're seeing is a really different candidate with different ideas, some of which are hostile to the Republican Party. And I think people are actually starting to enjoy these ideas. They are enjoying the opposition to the status quo that Donald Trump represents.
Particularly on immigration and trade, I assume that's what you're talking about.
I think it's not true that they enjoy his economic policy so much, but definitely on immigration, and also just a position of strength with national security, an idea that we should fight wars with an interest in winning them and with an exit strategy. This is a message that is resonating, I think, with Republican voters.
Byron?
I think Republicans actually are coming around. I think certainly at the end of the primaries and even in the convention, we saw some of Trump's Republican support numbers in the high 70s, which was that was a big gap between what Hillary Clinton had with Democrats.
Right.
Now, in this poll that you just mentioned, that had Clinton at had Trump at 87% with Republicans, the same number had Clinton at 89% with Democrats. So roughly the same. I think as the race becomes more and more a binary contest, it's been that way for a while, but it's becoming more so every day and will really be that way when people see just Trump and just Clinton together on the debate stage. Republican partisan instincts kick in, you know, when they hear about Hillary Clinton's aides destroying cell phones with a hammer or bleach bit. I mean, their partisan instincts kick in.
Yeah, it may also, do you think that's affected, Mollie, by the nature of the coverage this year? I mean, Republicans are always at a disadvantage in the media coverage. That's been true for as long as anybody can remember. This year strikes me it's deeper than that.
It's reached an all-new level, and that is one of the interesting things about why Republicans are coming back to Donald Trump here. Everything that people are highlighting about the problems with Donald Trump, you look at who his opponent is, and he doesn't look so bad. They say, oh, Donald Trump is a liar. And that's true. He's lied about many things. He gives conflicting information on pretty much any issue he talks about. He's literally running against Hillary Clinton, who's got a reputation with dishonesty and a certain lawyerly approach to how she talks about things. Doesn't make him seem like a particularly bad candidate. This week there's been a big push to point out problems with his foundation. And that's certainly true. That there's been very good reporting on this done at the Washington Post. At the same time...
Just mention some of the specific things that have been noted, that he paid, what,
there might have been something illegal about a purchase of a piece of art that then went back to the Trump to the Trump family or to Trump interests. There's
foundation money.
Yes, and there are a lot of questions about just how charitable Donald Trump has been, period. But you compare that with the large-scale levels of corruption and problems with the Clinton Foundation, a global intrigue of how the Clinton Foundation was used to funnel money from oligarchs and to help them get business deals, how people who donated to the Clinton Foundation got 40% of the appointments at the State Department, how they also got favorable treatment. I mean, these things, I think, are more interesting to people, if they are interesting, than somewhat pettier problems with the Trump Foundation, even though they're both problematic.
Absolutely. The same thing. I mean, you have this sense of kind of dueling foundations. Your foundation is bad. No, your foundation is bad.
More corrupt than mine.
I mean, I don't even have a foundation. But I think that kind of evens out, kind of cancels out a little bit. And one of the Trump Foundation allegations posted in the Washington Post was that he built a flagpole for the American flag that was too high for a city code in Palm Beach. He was fined a large amount. The fines went up to about $100,000. They settled with an agreement that he would give $100,000 to a veterans charity, which he did, but he did it through his own charity, with his own charity's money and not with his personal funds. That's probably not going to really set people are probably going
to be more excited about the higher flagpole and even indeed
a symbol of his patriotism.
Mollie, Byron, come back to you a little later.